Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the June mystery yarn clubs. This was a labor of love. Let me tell you how happy I am to finally be sitting down talking about this, because I have been working so hard on them all week, and I'm just relieved that they are finally in a good place. And by the time you're seeing this, you know, kind of with all of you, but they're on their way out of my house finally. So a couple of things first. So if you haven't already checked out the coin flip hat kits in my shop, definitely go do so. If you haven't checked out the pattern itself, it's designed by Jana and Jill. I'll leave a link to her Ravelry shop as well as her Pay Hip shop down below to go check out the pattern. And of course the kits are available as pre-orders in my shop. Now, I'm also a sponsor of the Splash Pad Party, and that is currently ongoing. So it's a really low-key, fun summer make-along. There's no requirements about what you make. You earn points for the size of your projects. So definitely go check out Boston Gen 1 on Instagram, or check out downsellerstudio.com for more details. And I will leave a link to the knit along, make along down below as well. We also have the March into Spring 22 knit along going on here on my channel. So we are working on socks throughout spring. This is the last month, so get your last pair in by the end of this month, and I will be picking winners at the end of the month. So I will, of course, again, leave details for that down below. I did also just have my monthly shop update this past weekend when you guys are watching this. So go see what's left. Go order your custom orders for the June colors of the month. Yeah, the June. So go place orders for custom orders for the June colors of the month. And yeah, that is it. We can talk about yarn clubs now. So I'll put up a photo here of what the June colorway inspiration was. It's kind of like this eyeshadow that has all of the different colors, and then it's in a black case. I thought this would be a really cool colorway to dye up that has the bright pops of colors with the contrast of the black. It's something really different. It's not a colorway that I've typically offered in my shop, or a dye technique that I typically use, and I think that's why it was such a labor of love this week. It was very different for me to do. So we're going to talk all about it. There were a lot of mishaps along the way, and I'm excited to show you how it came out. So if you are looking for more background on my mystery yarn clubs, I'll leave a link down below to a vlog where I talked about them at the beginning of the year. Basically, every single month there's an inspiration photo like you just saw. I dye up a colorway, a contrast color, and a mini skein set inspired by the photo, and you don't know anything else about it until you get it. The good thing is you can pick the size of your skein, so you can get 100 grams of the two colorways. You can mix 100 grams with 20 gram mini. You can just do the main colorway, or you can do 20 gram minis for the main color, 50 gram, whatever it is, you can get it, and you choose the size of the skeins. So I'm actually going to show you guys the mini skein set first, because it's going to kind of come up when we talk about the main colorway. I'm really proud of this mini skein set. I think this is one of the coolest mini skein sets that I have dyed up. So I'm interested to hear what you all think of having mini skein sets like this in the shop in the future. Whether it's the same idea with the black or with other colors, I'm totally open to it, but a really cool mini skein set, and I will show it to you now. So here it is, and me holding it up at the top probably takes away from some of it, but that is it. So the way that, and I think one is kind of hiding in the back here. So that is it. And I'm just gonna really quickly run through how this worked. So again, I was inspired by how the picture had the pops of the individual colors and then the dark black in between. And so that's how I dyed this up. You're gonna see that in the main skein as well. And what I did with so I'll show you one of these. So this is one of them. It has I'm just gonna unwind one because it takes forever to wind all these. But the way this works is you can see it has some black, it has some purple, some black, and some blue. And so when you knit with this, it's gonna alternate it. You're gonna knit some of the black, some blue, some black, some purple. Black, blue, black, purple, round and round, round and round and round. And so what I did was I picked 5 colors. And so this one is blue and purple. This next one is blue and green. And then there's green and kind of this darker brownish red. There were a lot of neutrals in there too, so I wanted to bring that in. And then it goes into like the dark red and the bright pinks that were in the photo, and then it circles back around to bright pinks and purple, and then you get the purple back in here. So each color that shows up in 2 mini skeins, but instead of having the mini skein have, you know, purple and purple here, so you'd alternate black, purple, black, purple, and then if you moved on to the next one, it would be black, blue, black, blue. I decided to alternate it. So I thought it would be really cool. You would knit up the purple, the blue, the purple and blue, it would alternate between those, and then maybe you move on to the purple and pink one, and it would alternate between purple and pink. I just thought that was a really cool concept, and I really am excited to see how this works up. I think it'll be really neat. So definitely post your pictures working with these. So again, that's a mini skein set. You can pick that again on your choice of base and size skein. So you can actually get those from 10-gram minis up to 100-gram skeins. And yeah, just a really fun overall mini skein set. Okay, so that's the mini skein set. So you'll see kind of where it came into play with the main color when I tell you the whole tale. Okay, so let me show you the main colorway here. Most of the yarn is still drying, so I have 100-gram skeins to show you as well as the 20-gram versions, but nothing else in between. It was like all 100 grams that I happened to wind up that were dry. So anyway, here it is on the sock base. So again, a similar feel to that mini skein set, a really cool, different kind of style yarn that I don't think that I've really offered before. All 3 of these skeins are on the sock base. So you see you get that same idea. You get the dark black, and I didn't try to dye them like uniformly dark black. I know a lot of people have trouble knitting with that. So you'll see a lot of it has like white and grays, but I think overall when you knit it, it'll variegate with the grays and the whites that are popping through, but overall you'll kind of get the dark section and then the pops of color. So I will talk about the trials and tribulations here now a little bit, because it took me a long time to get to this finished product that I am very proud of. Just really quick, here it is on the 3 bases. So sock here, we have DK in the middle, and then BFL sock on the side here. So what happened with this colorway is I interpreted the photo as having a lot of the black separation between all of the different colors. And I knew that I wanted this skein to be like this, where it had the black section and then all of the different colors. I didn't want to do like color black, something like that. That would have not shown up as well, because remember, in order for, you know, kind of looking at this mini skein, in order to get a few stitches, you need a length of it. So of a color, right? So like a stitch takes up, you know, some yarn. So if I had done like black and then like purple and black and blue, it just like wouldn't have knit up very well. Now you'll get like a section of black, a section of purple, whatever. So I knew I wanted to do that, where I wanted to have the 2 sections of black and then colors on the outside. And so when I first dyed this up, and I did an entire batch, so 3 pans full of yarn, where I did the black in the middle, and I did all different colors. So I did the same kind of colors you see here. So yellow, green, yellow, blue, purple, maybe not purple, but like red and hot pink, and all of the colors that you see in the photo. I kind of like did a little length of each one with like a chunk of black, 1 chunk of black. The problem with how the colorway came out was that, you know, if you know my dyeing, I like when the colors blend together. Like in here, I really did a lot of blues and yellows, but you kind of get that green in there too from it. I really like variegated colors over the blocked colors, and you see that a lot in the colorways that I do. So all that yarn that I dyed up one morning will appear in a future dye with me. I didn't bring any over, but it was just very separated. There was like very bright red, and then like very bright yellow, and very bright, and it just didn't like go together in a skein. It just looked very clunky, and it wasn't what I had in mind. I didn't love it. So we will be over dyeing those skeins. I think it'll be a great palette or a great base to do something similar that I've done in the past, where we started with the same color skeins and then dyed it with different colors on top to see how they came out in the end. And I think it'll be really cool because of all the different colors that are kind of blocked in there. I think it'll be really cool to see different tones overlaid on top. So we'll play with that in a future dye with me, so stick around for that. But for now, I kind of started fresh. Like, I knew I couldn't even over dye them to get a colorway I wanted. I just needed to start over. The unfortunate part was it was all the skeins that are like not 100-gram skeins. So I had to like remake them all too. So that was kind of a lot, but all worked out in the end. So then I went back and I dyed it differently. So I kept the black section, but with the two sections, which I can open, should have left one undone, but you can see it's the same style as a mini skein, right? Where you kind of get a color, the black, and then a color. So I knew I wanted to do cool tones on one side and warm tones on the other. That's what I did originally, but instead of color blocking it, I made it into a really pretty variegated colorway. So a lot of bright blues and yellows on the one side, and then on the other, more of the reds and the pinks. At this point, now I want to show you the tonal skein really quickly, because again, that kind of will play into it. So again, this is not, when I did the initial dyeing, this is not what the skeins looked like. I kind of had three rounds of this. So the first one that I kind of totally scrapped, and then I kind of just like edited these ones. So let me show you the contrast skein first, and we'll continue talking about it. So for the contrast tonal, so I had the warm tones, the cool tones with the reds and the blues. And so I decided to add another color element. So again, we have like the pattern of the black and the color and the black and the color. And I thought adding a brand new color to it would be really cool to just, again, bring out those pops of color. Like, that's what this photo spoke to me, was just pops of color. And that's what I did. So I think this is going to be a very different contrast color than I've ever, or I know it's different than anyone I've done before, because it doesn't pull a color directly from the skein. It more combines everything together and introduces a new one. So here it is. This is it as an 100-gram skein, and then off to the side is a 20-gram mini. So this is the sock set, and then this is it as 100-gram skeins. So a really pretty, I love this color as like a future colorway, a really pretty purple color that's just made from pinks, bright pinks and bright blues blended together. And again, all of the colors in here are in the main skein, but they're just combined. And so I thought that that was a really, really fun take on it. And it, again, it'll add an additional pop of color to it. So the reason why I wanted to show that one before continuing talking about the main skein is that when I first finished the skein, and you can kind of see it here, so this is the DK skein, and we have the really bright pinks, but if you see, there's also the sections that's more darker red. When I finished the first round, the colors were very red and less like magenta, which is to me how they finished out. Like, it's like a magenta versus like a red. And it felt like the red, because this was pinks and blues that made this like purple, the red really didn't blend in with it so much. So kind of thought a lot about how I wanted to handle this. So for a long time, I thought that I was going to just start the tonal over. My husband actually talked this out with me, and that was like his advice was to, like, he really liked the main skein, how it turned out originally as like the red. He's like, that's a really cool skein. It's a really cool concept. It looks really good. It just doesn't match the tonal. So save like the contrast for a future one and start over on that, which I was like set on and I agreed upon and was going to do. So bringing it back to the mini skein set. So then I like pulled out the minis and I was like, okay, so I showed him the mini skein set and I said, these are really the colors that are in the main skein. So the tonal really should be one of these colors. Like, which one should I do? And I'm looking at it and I see the bright pink and I see the bright blue. And I'm like, this was my vision. Like, I was like so hung up on my vision, like the bright pink and the bright blue, and then have the bright purple. And I was like so hung up on it, so hung up on it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is what the color is. This is what I want it to be. And so instead of doing a separate tonal, that's when I decided instead to go back and just over dye the red part with all of the bright pink. And I think it just looks so cool. So again, now you have the bright pinks and the bright blues, but of course they're variegated. So there's the yellows and the greens too. You still get some of that red in there, the bright pink. And when you really look at these colors together, they really do, you know, kind of blend up into that color. And I thought it was just really fun. And these mystery yarn clubs are just such a great way to play with color, experiment, try different techniques, and it was a lot of fun to do. So I'm thrilled with the final result. I love the bright colors for June. I love the mini skein set. The tonal is going to be such a nice pop of color in the socks or shawl, whatever it is you're making with it. And I think it goes really well. So I hope you guys love this. I have to keep working to get these packages sent out to you all. And that is it for the June clubs. So of course, let me know what you think of the style of yarn. Is it something you want to see in the shop in the future? And I will put up the July inspiration photo here. It is a variety of citrus fruit. So again, it'll be a fun one to play with bright colors. And that's all you get. So if you want to sign up, I'll leave a link to the signups down below. And I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.